And we are live on another edition of the K and K Sports Show. There's going to be one more show, I believe, no, this might be the last show in October, in September. I got to figure that one out. But listen, not a good football week for me. Two heartbreaking losses, Auburn, Broncos. Listen, not going to panic. It's early. It's 3-0. Are the Colts a Super Bowl contender? No. Are the Jacksonville Jaguars? No. Are the Broncos and Ravens at 1-2 in trouble? No. Everybody calm down. It's early. These teams that are winning now won't be there later. So don't worry about it, Graham. Let's not get excited. We'll be back. Let's move it on. Get to the next week. Carson Shear, how are you?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Good to see all you guys, and yeah, hopefully you guys had a good weekend. And yeah, big win for my Lions, Monday Night Football, and couldn't be happier. So welcome to the show, everyone.
Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Good evening, everyone. I'll let Paul get in his intro, the not so good about the Giants, but I do want to send our thoughts and prayers to our good friend, co-host of Wits and Wagers with Carson, our good friend Joey Clams, Joey Fredette. Dad passed away the other day. Joey, our thoughts and prayers are with you. If you don't know Joey's great person, kind-hearted, will do anything for anyone. So our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, Joey, and we're here for you, brother. And if you're out there listening, hope we can cheer you up a little bit tonight.
I did, just so you guys know, I did speak with Joey last night after the news. And again, our condolences, obviously. And, he was knowing Joey, he was, the hell's going on with your Broncos? That was, with his, he had to get that in. But, great guy, family member to all of us, definitely part of our show. So condolences to Joe. Mr. Rosen, how are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. And again, condolences to Joey and his family on the passing of his father. Really, really feel sorry for you guys, Joey. Yeah, listen, it's the start of a new era. We couldn't go on. We'll get into it in a little bit, but I know Kenny and I are pumped. We have to be, because this couldn't last any longer. We couldn't take this anymore. I was going to scream, I'm not going to take this anymore. And I think every Giant fan in the world feels the same way come Sunday. I'm not saying it's going to be different, but you know what? A new era is here. Jackson Dart, or shall I say Jackson Start, will start on Sunday, and all Giant fans are looking forward to this.
All right, Mr. Kirkpatrick. So,
yeah, real quick, Kurt, before we do get started, you see up on the top left screen, we got Lion Coffee up there. Our good friend Patrick's out there saying, my daughter says aloha and Broncos to death, Kurt. So little aloha. And Patrick, I was just telling the guys before the show, Kurt and Jen last night, and there's Kurt. He got the little thing coming up. A special 10% discount on any Lion Coffee products. Thanks to Patrick. Use the code Patrick10. Patrick takes care of us all. It's really great stuff. I work for a big hospital, and I share with all my coworkers on the night shift, and everybody keeps asking, when are we getting more coffee? And I've always got them supplied thanks to Patrick. But nice 10% discount there from Patrick. Use the promo code Patrick10. Thank you, Patrick. Much appreciated. And thank you for all the support you give all our shows. And aloha to your daughter and family as well.
hold on, Kenny. I might have messed up. I think I might have did something with Paul by mistake instead of the video. Paul, hang on one second. Okay, sorry. I got to delete this. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay. That's okay. I'll mention what we got going on in the show. We got a lot of things going on. We got college football, NFL. The end of the show, maybe we get one or two baseball questions in with the playoffs coming up. I'm going to start with college football.
Kenny, real quick. I'm not sure. Patrick is saying hello. He's saying, my daughter says aloha, and it's her birthday. So thank you.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
And Clayton is saying smash the like button as always. And David Burns is watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. Just wanted to get our hellos out before we start, guys. I've been starting with college football, and we're going to start a little with college football this week too. a rapid fire for you guys. I figured there's a lot of teams that we can go here, so I'm gonna give each of you a chance to give me a surprise team. For surprise team, I'll start with Carson. A surprise team in a good way, Carson, so far this year in college football.
Surprise team. You know what? I'm going to go with Florida State. A lot of expectations, a lot of, wishy-washy coaching player situation scenarios after they made the playoff or got robbed from the playoff a couple years ago. They had a horrific season last year. They're in the top 10, 3-0. They're rolling. I would say the Seminoles have really bounced back from last year. They obviously got that big win over Alabama to start the year. So they got, the meat on their bones in the schedule coming up soon. They got to play your boys, Kenny, Miami coming up soon. And, without the ACC, but Florida State, I'll say, is a surprise.
Nice one. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. A possible trap game with Jenny Hoops' alma mater, Kurt, Virginia.
Yeah, Friday night.
So that's
Friday
going
night.
to be a good game Friday night, national TV. Virginia's at home, so we're going to see how good this Florida State team is. This is going to be a good game to watch. I'll go to Paul next. I know you got one too, I'm sure, Paul.
Yeah, Carson stole my thunder, but I have another one. Everyone thought Indiana was a one-hit wonder last year. They got into the playoffs, but let me tell you something. I think everybody just stood up and took notice after that demolition of Illinois Saturday. Wow. I could just say, wow. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs again, but for them to do what they did on Saturday, I don't know if that says more about Indiana or less about Illinois, but hey, you put up 63 points. That says something. So I'm going to say, again, Indiana this year is a surprise. Or maybe they shouldn't be at this point.
It makes a lot of sense. I liked Illinois last week, and they proved me wrong at Indiana. So good win for that Indiana program. Kurt, you got one?
I do, and it's the same one as Paul. And listen, I paid the piper last week because I bet him. I took him plus 8.5. I took Illinois plus 14.5, and me and Jen, when I went to dinner, went to Bellinopoly, and I have the TV on, and it's not the Miami game was in the front, so that game was on the left, and I'm looking, and I'm like, did they score again? Like, wait a minute, that's a highlight. Again, and I looked, and it's 21, I think it was like 14-7, 21, 28, 35. I'm like, this is insane. Like, I'm going Indiana. I mean, everybody was on Illinois last week. Everybody was on Illinois. And you know what? Listen, you got to respect that. I mean, they went there. They just didn't win that game. They blew their doors off. So I'm going to say Indiana.
Yeah, you guys nailed it. I'm going to throw some other teams out there. I'm just going to name them that I think are surprises too. And I think you guys will all agree. Oklahoma. Let's throw them in there. Texas A&M, top 10, beat Notre Dame. Georgia Tech, another sleeper team. We said could be a sleeper team in the ACC. They're looking like a possible contender. How about Texas Tech, what they did to Utah in Utah?
Yeah.
And then last but not least, I threw Vanderbilt in there.
Mm-hmm.
You talk SEC, Vanderbilt's in the top 25. Kurt, you're an SEC guy. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yeah. So we got another hello. Hey, Ernie Mays is saying hello. And
Stop, Ernie.
David said,
hey, Kenny.
Illinois was going to hold on, Paul. David said, I really thought Illinois was going to win that game against Indiana. And go ahead, Paul.
I'll give kudos to you guys. Hey, who expected the U to be number 2 this early in the season? So hey, caps off to you guys right now.
The schedule has helped us with South Florida being ranked and playing ranked teams. The schedule has helped us. So hats off to them as well. Let's change gears. Let's go disappointing. I'll start with Paul on this one. Give me a disappointing team.
Yeah, I mean, the low-hanging fruit, of course, could be Clemson. But I'm going to go to a guy that actually Kenny sent out the warning that he was fired, Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State. I mean, how bad has Oklahoma State been this year? And when we did our review, I sort of said he was going to be on the hot seat. He has been they've been horrible. They have not had a chance this year. They got rid of Gundy yesterday. So talk about disappointing after all these years. I'm going to go with Mike Gundy's Oklahoma or ex-Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Really, really disappointing, bad team the last couple of years. So they had to make a move. They finally did make that move. David's asking, where's A&M is ranked now? Number 9, David. Number 9 in the AP Top 25. Kurt, a disappointing team.
You know, I'm saying Clemson. I mean, I had this team definitely in the playoffs, in the national championship game, definite ACC champions. And are you kidding me? Like, after bad performance, you would think, okay, they're going to bounce back. And you see them Saturday at home against Syracuse, down 14, down 17. I mean, they look lost. They look done. I mean, honestly, they look like they quit. Seriously, like you can't beat Syracuse at home. I mean, after your bad performances, it's got to be Clemson. Got to be Clemson.
Like it. Carson, you got a different one? You want to go with Oklahoma State or Clemson?
Yeah, Oklahoma State and Clemson were 2 on my list. I'll go back to Big Ten just because of how embarrassing that loss was. Illinois, prime time under the lights at Indiana. I can understand it being a competitive football game, but when you get cakewalked and lose 63-10, that's an embarrassment. So I'm going to say the Fighting Illini. I had a lot of high hopes and expectations for Bielema, but there's a reason why they dropped 14 spots in the rankings. So I'll say Illinois.
I got some other ones that may be in line for a long year. How about Colorado? Not looking very good out there, 2-2. Same with North Carolina. The big coach, Belichick, comes in. UCLA already fired Arian Foster. They're losing to horrible teams. 0-3 in the Big Ten. About the Gators.
Who else got fired last week? UCLA. Oh, Virginia Tech guy got fired too.
Virginia Tech. You can throw them in as a. There's so many. Yeah. In South Carolina and Florida, 2 SEC teams that are disappointing. So, anybody else disappointing? I got a coach question for everybody. I'll start with Kurt, since I think this was the highest ranked team. Kurt, Mike Gundy got fired yesterday. Disappointing over there for a couple years. So I got 3 big name coaches. And for you, Kurt, I'm giving you Dabo Swinney. And my question for you on Dabo Swinney is Clemson going to get rid of him? What does Dabo Swinney have to do? Is it time to say, I got to go in the transfer portal and get out of my old-fashioned ways, or Clemson may move on from me? What has to happen in Clemson to get this turned around?
100%. He's got to do it. Listen, you have to do that now. You see it in college basketball, right? You still see teams that are, look what St. John's is doing with Pitino. I mean, look what he's doing. Like, that's what you got to do. You can't complain about it. You got to jump on board, right? The other thing about Dabo is, look what when Dabo won, Tony Elliott, right? Head coach of Virginia. Venables, head coach of Oklahoma. Those guys were his OC in DC for all those years, right? Since those guys left, you haven't had much success. Was it them? Was it Dabo? Listen, he's got to change. And you know what? If I'm the administration, he has 2 national championships, but I'm sorry, that's a long time ago. It's what have you done lately? You got to have the conversation with him. You got to go into the portal. You got to adapt now to what's going on. We have to pay these kids. If you don't want to do it, I got to find somebody that's going to do it. I mean, I don't know. How are you not going? His way's not working, right? So his way's not working. So yes, he has to change, or yes, there should be a change at Clemson.
Yeah, I agree. And you're going to lose players to it, and you're not gaining any. That's the problem. So I like that, Kurt. I was well said. Paul, I'm going to go to you next. I got Bill Belichick for you. And my question for you for Bill Belichick is, basically, could this be a one-and-done year for Bill in college, meaning back to the NFL? Because this isn't working out in North Carolina. He's 2-2, and they haven't even hit ACC play yet. So
yeah,
this could be a long year for Belichick. Is he going to want to stay in college and go through that at his age?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's a very good question. Right now, they're tied for 11th in the ACC. A very uncomfortable, uncommon Bill Belichick type of position in the standings. And let me tell you, I think he took this because he wanted to get back into coaching. It's in his blood. He was away for a year. If he would have jumped back in last year, but that all being said, I think he took this. I think he's going to see how it goes, but I think it will be a one and done because there's going to be a number of NFL teams that will come a calling. I don't want to say anything about our team, Kenny, but listen, if Bill Belichick called me, I'd fly him down from North Carolina up to New Jersey to get him to coach my team. So I think it's going to be one and done for him.
I think it could be too, Paul. I agree there. I like that. Carson, I'm giving you a question for Deion Sanders. Deion over there in Colorado, Shador, Travis Hunter, Shiloh, all graduated. 2-2 out there in Big 12 land. They're not overwhelming anybody. They're changing quarterbacks every week. My question to you on Deion, can he win out there in Colorado without Shador, or should he move on to maybe if another school opens up, should he go take a job somewhere else?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think he had that little 2-year stint with all the hype, and like you said, with his son playing there and the Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter, and his 2 boys on the roster. But like you said, now that they're all graduated, I don't know if his love is really with Colorado anymore. Was it really for the paycheck? Does he really care about the school? Could he go back to his alma mater? With next year, the year after that, and possibly, even if it's an assistant coach at Florida State, where he played in college, they do have an opportunity to bounce back. They got 2 top 25 teams on their schedule with BYU and TCU coming up next. But I don't see him lasting there past 2026, 2027. He's going to go to either a different school. There's a possibility he might get a head coaching job in the NFL.
Carson, can I throw a
I was just gonna
real quick?
Yeah, I was just gonna say real quick, Kurt. My hot take has to do with the question I asked Kurt. If Dabo can't get out of his ways, Deion to Clemson, totally different type of coach. He lives for the transfer portal and NIL. So
I got one to tell you. Remember, he had the issue with Florida State. Can he go to Florida? That's for college.
Was that for Carson or was that?
No. The one for Carson is, I'm going to throw this one out. I'll go around the horn. We all know Brian Schottenheimer is not coaching this team next year. He's not. Let me ask you this. Goes to Dallas. You can easily get Shador there. I mean, what's that going to cost to get there? You get rid of Dak. Why not? Deion in charge. Listen, they said there was conversation. Dallas needs somebody. Dallas needs a name there. Is that a possibility, Carson? Deion to Dallas.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Shador, he might get his way with him just because it's his son. He might bring him over there. But I think Jerry Jones loves Dak too much to part ways with him just yet. But yeah, it's definitely a possibility. He gets even if it's a defensive coordinator position or an offensive coordinator position, with the Cowboys or somebody else in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be at Colorado next year or the year after that.
Paul, Dallas, Deion to Dallas. Any chance?
At one point, I would have said never, but you know what? Hey, Bill Parcells coached at Dallas, so why not? Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see Jerry bringing him in there. Yeah, especially if the Cowboys do poorly this year.
Kenny?
With Jerry Jones, anything is possible. So yes, if it means money, Jerry's in. It's all about money. Graham's saying, knowing Jerry, he'd trade Dak before giving him another contract. Then again, it's not like Dak is Mahomes / Hurts. All right, I got one more for you, college football. Great job with the coaches' questions I gave you guys on the spot there. Guys nailed it. Games of the week. We got 3 big ones. And I'm going to go to Paul first. He's got an SEC matchup. His old coach, Brian Kelly, at Notre Dame, LSU Tigers now going to Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, Jackson Dart's alma mater. Big game this week. Who do you like here, Paul?
Yeah, listen, if this was in Death Valley, I'd say, definitely go with LSU, but it's on the road at Ole Miss. No Jackson Dart, no problem. I think everyone's shocked Ole Miss is doing as well as they have so far this year. And I think being home, they're going to shock LSU and beat the Tigers at home this weekend.
I'm with you, Paul. I like that. I'm going to go Ole Miss as well. Carson, I like giving you the Big Ten game of the week when it's a big one, and this is could be the biggest one of the year. Playoff. By the way, this is a possible playoff preview in Week 5 of college football. So, LSU, Ole Miss. How about Oregon at Penn State, Carson? Could be the game of the year.
Yeah, this is Penn State's whiteout as well, so there's going to be a lot of hype. James Franklin cannot lose his football game. We've talked about it year after year. Him choking in primetime games, and this is a game he has to win. If he wants to put himself on the pedigree stool of becoming a national championship coach. But again, Oregon is a really damn good football team as well. It's going to be Dante Moore versus Drew Aller. Both of these quarterbacks looking to rise their NFL draft stock as well. But the spread right now is Oregon plus 3.5. And I'm honestly liking Oregon a little bit more, with the spread. So this is a coin flip type game. But again, we've seen James Franklin choke before in these big time situations. So I think the overall well-roundedness of Oregon could get him here in an upset. So I like Oregon in this game on the road.
It's a coin flip for sure. I love what you're saying there. The 3.5. If it was in Oregon, I would take Oregon in a second. But I'm going to take the white out. But I think it's going to be like a 1 point, maybe even a 2 point game, field goal to end it. It's going to be a fun game to watch. So let's see if James Franklin can get over that hump. Kurt, I like giving you the SEC game of the week, and it's a big one. Alabama Crimson Tide going to the Georgia Bulldogs, Kurt.
Yeah, listen, they're the best two SEC teams the past probably 10 years. But I don't know. I just think there's a lot of mismatches in this game, right? You look at the coaching matchup and, how do you not say Kirby Smart doesn't have an extreme advantage in this game, right? I mean, Alabama, since Saban has left, has not won big games. They've lost, I want to say it's 4 games to unranked teams in what? 12 games in his career, or 14, whatever it is, that's crazy. Like Saban lost 4 games to non-ranked teams in his career at Alabama. And, this guy's lost 4 in, a little more than a year. That scares me. I saw what they did on the road in Florida State. That was not pretty. Georgia, look how Georgia responded to Tennessee in that game. They were constantly down in that game. They came back, won a game, in Knoxville, with a game where Tennessee had everything to win. I'm going to take Georgia. I think the quarterback has an advantage. I think the coach has an advantage. The home field has an advantage. And I don't trust Alabama until Alabama can win a big game with this coach. I'm sorry. I'm going Georgia.
100% agree, Kurt. I think you nailed it. And I think Georgia at home is going to be too tough for Alabama. That being said, I don't think Georgia is going to be a national championship team this year. I think they'll be in the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to win a national championship.
Michael Ronquillo saying hello, guys.
What's up,
Hey,
Michael? Everybody's friend, Michael Ronquillo. What's up? All right. Anything else college football, guys? I think we had a nice, fun discussion there. Good takes on the questions I gave you.
Good job, Kenny.
Thank you, guys. Let's move on. Carson's Corner, NFL time, guys. We got, we're into the meat of the show now, 25 minutes in. We got some time to talk NFL, and I think we got some good stuff for everybody tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. Yeah, I got a couple questions for you guys. 2 in-depth questions and kind of a rapid fire real quick yes or no question to close it off here. But yeah, 2 teams that have Super Bowl aspirations, Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, unexpectedly both starting the season 1-2. My Lions got a big win against the Ravens on Monday Night Football. And they play each other this week, guys. This is going to be a big game in the AFC. So my question to you guys is, which team cannot afford to lose this football game, meaning they would start 1-3 and potentially hurt their chances of making a deep run in the postseason? So You got, the Chiefs and Andy Reid with Pat Mahomes dealing with some injuries. They got a win on the road last week against Kenny and Paul's Giants, and then you got the Ravens coming off a loss to my Lions. So you got the Chiefs coming off a win, Ravens coming off a loss. Both teams 1-2 in this ball game. This game is in Kansas City. It's a game of the week, 425 slot. So which team has to win this football game for their fan base, confidence level moving forward to get back to 500 and get back on the right track? I'm going to start with Kenny first.
For me, Carson, I can go both ways, but I'm going to go Chiefs. Many reasons. I could probably go all the way down the alphabet, but I'll just go a couple letters. A, Chargers are 3-0. You lose this, you already lost to the Chargers, so you're really much 3 games behind, 2.5 games behind the Chargers right now. You lose this game and the Chargers beat the Giants, you're 3.5 games behind. So definitely A there. B, the division for the Chiefs, I just said is harder, the Ravens, but B, you got a team not playing well in the Chiefs. If you played anybody, you played 30 other teams in the NFL and they beat the Chiefs on Sunday night. They tried to hand the Giants the game and it just didn't. The Giants couldn't capitalize. So there's another reason, and see, they're home. Their fans are going to start turning on them. They start losing, and like Kurt's been saying, this could be the downfall of the Chiefs. So there's many reasons that the Chiefs have to win this game, and I can go A to Z. But most important, don't fall 3.5 games behind the Chargers.
Well said. Paul, who do you think has to win this game more for their future of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to agree with Kenny. It's got to be the Chiefs. Right now, with the Bengals quarterback situation, the Browns always, even though they did beat the Packers, the Ravens are going to be okay in their division. But like Kenny alluded to, Chargers are 3-0. They beat them already. Who thinks the Giants are going to beat the Chargers on Sunday? So that's going to be another win for the Chargers. There's just no way if the Chiefs lose, they're going to be able to make up. Much less you have the Broncos, who are going to be breathing down their throats as well. So Chiefs, it's almost a must-win this early in the season for them.
Kurt, what say you?
You know what? I'm torn on this one because I would say the Ravens if Joe Burrow didn't get hurt. But without Joe Burrow, I agree with Paul. I think they're in a better shape with this division. The other thing, and I think I agree with Kenny, is this team, like Kansas City, is so used to winning home games, right? Like, I think this game being home is a must win for them. Like you're saying, the fans are going to turn. The fans are going to lose that belief. Like, hey, you played close with Philly, but you lost at home. Now you go and, you played with Baltimore and you lose at home. Like, you got to start getting wins, right? Like, so I'm going to say Kansas City. Real quick, Rich Katwinka. Hey, guys, with Dart as the starter, at the very least, there's a reason to tune into the G-Men now. I lived through the 70s Giants, had season tickets starting in 78. The last few years are way worse than those teams were. At least the 12-year-old me had hope. Misplaced, but I had it. LOL.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Ravens have more to lose in this one, only because the pedigree that the Chiefs have already established themselves with, 3 Hall of Famers with Andy Reid as their coach, Mahomes and Kelsey. So they've already proven it and done it, and I think they can bounce back more, even if it's a wild card berth. Like you guys said, you made a good point with the Chargers. Ravens, they're expecting a lot. They went all in for Derrick Henry. They got Lamar, who has an MVP. If they fall 1-3, I think the Ravens are in more trouble here. So I'm going to say the Ravens on this one. But yeah, 2 teams that have to get a win to get back to 500. We're going to go to the second question that I have for you guys. Kenny and Paul are going to appreciate this one. The Colts team I didn't see coming at all, starting their season 3-0. Danny Dimes has been playing great for the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of questions with Anthony Richardson. They took him in the first round of the draft a couple years ago. Everybody thought he was going to be their franchise saving grace. We've talked about fit all the time with the quarterback. It makes or breaks an NFL quarterback's career. Baker Mayfield, a prime example of just him fitting in the right spot, bouncing around from team to team. And Daniel Jones, he gets his opportunity. Richardson looking like the starter. He got injured in preseason. Daniel Jones shines the occasion, and he's playing great football right now. So my question to you guys is, do you think the Colts have found their answer in Daniel Jones as the future franchise of this team? Or do you think pump the brakes? It's only week 4. Let's give it more time to see how it pans out. I'm going to go to Paul first.
I knew you were. All right, everyone, raise your hand. Who had Daniel Jones, or should I call him now from now on, Indiana Jones, as the number 1 rated quarterback in the league on your bingo card? Anyway, listen, you hit it perfectly, just like Baker. The guy had some talent. I'm sorry, Kurt, but is that an indictment of Daniel Jones's talent, Shane Steichen's talent, or Brian Dable's inability to get anything out of a quarterback? Maybe it's a combination of all 3. But I think the Colts have found lightning in a bottle with Daniel Jones. I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit. It's only a 3-game scenario so far. As Bill Parcells used to say, let's not anoint him to the Hall of Fame yet. But listen, you got to say the guy's been producing. He's been amazing. They produced records that even with Peyton there, they haven't had in Indianapolis. So give the guy credit for the time being. Obviously, let's see a full season of it. But you gotta say the guy is playing very, very well.
Nice, well said. Kenny.
Listen, I got brand new brakes on the car, and I'm pumping them. He beat the Miami Dolphins. Enough said there. He beat the Tennessee Titans. How many wins do both of those teams have? 0. Who else did he beat? And you can listen, and this is a little plug for Kurt, 10 p.m. Let's Talk Broncos. He beat Kurt's defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, who Kurt is screaming and number 1 on the petition list to fire. So I am pumping those brand new brakes, and I'm going through the windshield if I don't have my seatbelt on, because I'm not believing it. And we're, go and beat the Rams this week, Danny. And we got to make that pick in a few minutes. Go beat the Rams on the road this week, and then maybe we'll talk. But until then, I'm pumping the big brakes big time on that.
Fair enough. Do you agree with Paul or Kenny? Kurt, do you think the Colts have their franchise, or is it too early with Daniel Jones?
I might shock you and not shock you with this answer. Number 1, when you say franchise, like starting quarterback, yeah. Sure, he's their starting quarterback. He's a top 32 quarterback. Absolutely. They found he's better than Anthony Richardson. So did they find him? But this is the silver lining. You see what he is? See, $12, $14 million. Bravo. That's what he should be paid. You see how he's playing free? It's $14 million. If it's not good, hey, what do we expect? Like you said, the burst bubble, Kenny's pumping brakes. It's no big deal. The guy should have never got anything more than $20 million. That's what he should be paid. $12 to $14 million. That's what he is. Get guys around him, right? Get Jonathan Taylor, build a little defense, they got some nice little weapons here and there. That's what he is. I'm not signing him for anything more than he's getting. This works for you. This works for us. It's $14 million. That's it. That's it. We're not playing this game. We saw when you went to 4-0, we saw how you were just a debacle. Keep it what it is. And this is for everybody in the NFL. It should be the same thing. That's what if you're good as a quarterback and hey, you make 14, keep it like that. Keep it like that. I don't care. Oh, well, so and Geno Smith got 80. That's Geno Smith's problem. Keep it where it is. If he does this $14 million, he's playing to his money. Yeah, that's fine. Not more than that. Not more than that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm rooting for Daniel Jones, and again, I'm a strong believer in QB fit. You don't give up on a quarterback. 1-2 years into his career, especially if he was taken early in the draft. We will have that debate again, I'm sure, later down the line, whether a rookie quarterback should start his first year or not, or you bench him. But yeah, Daniel Jones, Colts, great fan base. Hopefully they can make some noise this year, and wishing him the best. Final question, guys. Rapid fire here. This is the second time that's happened so far this year. They did this a couple weeks ago. Are you guys a fan of the 2 double-header Monday Night Football games that the NFL experimented with a couple years ago? They're doing it again. Again, NFL is a business. They're all about ratings and revenue. So you got the Jets and Dolphins at 7 o'clock, and then right afterwards, you got the Bengals and Broncos. I will say this. I am a fan of it to an extent. The only thing that's a little frustrating is when they overlap the times for the game. So if you got 2 games going at the same time, you're flipping back and forth between station to station. Whether it's just one game, you can focus on that one game. You can enjoy it. You don't have to worry about what the other score is. So I am a fan of it. More football, the better, to an extent, with a little asterisk next to it. But rapid fire, yes or no? Do you like the doubleheader Monday Night Football, Paul?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you have a chance for 2 exciting games, hopefully. So, sure, why not? More the better.
Kenny?
Carson, you stole my thunder. I agree with you 100%. If it overlaps, 7 and 8 o'clock, I don't like, but 7 and 10 o'clock, I love. I love having the 2 games on Monday night. Being a late night owl, overnight people, some of us do work late. And the West, people out West get to see a night game, so, I like it.
Kurt?
Carson, who are you kidding? You have so much money. Just buy a second TV, damn it. Let's go. Get a second TV up there. You know what? I'm going opposite of Kenny. I like how it is this week. The 7 to 10, I mean, let's be honest. Like, you work all day, and listen, it is late, 10 o'clock. I hated when Denver was on 10 o'clock. I like the 7, 8, because you know what? Listen, you have your choice. It's almost like a mini Sunday, right? Like, hey, I can watch this game. I can't watch this game. What if this week was a good football game? 2 weeks ago, maybe it wasn't a good football game. Then you're like, oh, I'm going to watch this. You have a choice. I like it 7 and 8, but just get another TV, Carson. Let's go.
There you go.
If the Broncos were on 10 p.m., there'd be a phone call Tuesday morning.
That's right. Monday night.
There you go. I think we're going to switch to Paul. He had one more question for NFL. Go for it, Paul.
Yeah, thanks, Carson. So, of course, the Giants made the big announcement yesterday that they're coming off Russell Wilson and going to finally the number 1 quarterback, number 1 draft pick, Jackson Dart. So I'll ask each one of you guys, is it the right decision at this point to hand the reins to Jackson Dart? And from what Brian Dable said, he's going to be the starting quarterback the rest of the year. So, Kurt, I know you've had a lot of feelings. Obviously, your Broncos went right to your number 1 quarterback last year with Bo Nix. So, what's your feelings about the Giants now going to Jackson Dart?
I love it. I absolutely love it. You got, I'm big on you got to see what he can do, right? Like, oh, well, 10 games and 11 games. Like, you know what? Like, throw him into the fire. Like, but I look at it like different, and it was the same thing, like I said, with Bo Nix. You got to see, is this guy the guy, right? Because, listen, if you're bad and you can have Arch Manning, you got to do it. Like, you can't be like, well, I have this guy and I don't know. Like, you got to know right away, and you're going to know. You look last year, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jalen Daniels, like, yeah, listen, those guys are guys, right? You look and it's, okay, Spencer Rattler and Malik. Like, you just know, get them out. Josh Rosen, just get them out. They're not going to work. Get them out, and you got to go get somebody. I've always said, like, it's not a problem. Like, I would have nothing against the Giants if they played Jackson Dart and it was like, go get a quarterback next year. I would never be like, they wasted a pick. What? They tried it. It didn't work. They see the issue and go get them and go get your other guy. You cannot mess around with quarterback. Again, I'll say this again. the Josh Rosen, we took a first-round quarterback. We can't take a quarterback. They didn't say that. They said, listen, it was a mistake. Let's go get Kyler Murray. They haven't worried about that position since. And I think that's exactly what the Giants should do. It shouldn't be about Dable's job. He's not going to be here next year. It shouldn't be about anything else. It should be, is this kid, are you going to be able to go and say, I'm going to pass up? Because you have good quarterbacks coming out. And if you're bad, you're going to have a top 4 pick. Am I going to keep him, or do I have to go get a quarterback next year? So I think I love when you play the quarterback. Play him. You know what? I don't want to hear he's not ready. If he's not ready, don't draft him. Go ahead. Let's see what he can do. I love it.
All right, great. Carson, do you think this supposedly is Dable's guy? They handpicked him. Do you think Dable, the way things are going, is either going to hurt or help Jackson Dart become a good, competent quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, and again, it comes back to the debate of, is the kid ready at week 4 coming into the NFL? You know, I think a better situation would have been the following game that you guys had in New Orleans against a way worser team with the New Orleans Saints compared to the 3-0 Chargers right now. I mean, that's really throwing the kid into the lion's den against a good Chargers all-around team. So I don't necessarily agree with it. I would have preferred to stick with Russell Wilson, you know, start it out and give him another chance. And he had a great game against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he didn't look so great on Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs, but I think it's a little too early to test this out. But like you guys were saying, this was more of a Brian Dable save his job moment because of Dart hopefully going to give him that chance versus who do you think has a better chance to win you guys the football game? Russ starting for the Giants or Jackson Dart for the Giants against the Chargers? So I would have waited one more week if you're going to do it because you got the Saints, which, you know, way worser opponent, but to suit yourself, you guys do your thing. But I would have waited one more week if you guys are going to do it. So best of luck to them, though.
Thanks. Kenny, you and I, only Giant fans here. Let me ask you, I think one of the biggest issues, especially Sunday's game, was the lack of creativity. I've seen it. I think we discussed it. What do you think Jackson Dart will bring to the Giants for him to be used in a more creative way and maybe make the Giants a better team?
Maybe, I don't want to say explosiveness, but you're going to see more run pass options. You'll see some RPOs. I think you'll see a different type of playbook. You'll see short wide receiver screen type passes, shorter passes. You'll see some deep throws as well, but I think it's going to be more open playbook with the shorter passes as opposed to just Russ throwing moon ball after moon ball after moon ball. I think you're going to start seeing some slants, wide receiver screens, some maybe passes to Scatterboo. I think you're going to see those type of plays. So I think you'll see chain moving play calls, and I think that's what it brings to instead of just a home run ball from Russ time after time.
Yeah, no, I agree with all you guys. I think, and my first reaction was, it's not the right time, but quite honestly, after watching the game on Sunday, especially if you guys saw that sequence, that series where Russ, I don't know who he was throwing to, the guy in the first row for 3 downs near the goal line. I mean, that you can't continue like that. That's not professional football. And as good as Russell Wilson has been, that series said it all about how they could not continue without making the switch. So I think they had no choice. Go to Jackson Dart. It can't be any worse. I'm just hoping, and I'm sure, Kenny, you agree, the O-line is sufficient enough to keep this guy standing still.
Paul, can I say one more thing? 30 seconds, I promise.
Absolutely.
You know, and I've always said this too, like as a fan, I would rather see a rookie quarterback. I don't care if the better team, I'd rather start at home than on the road. It's not going to be loud. You're going to be able to communicate. Like, yeah, the Chargers are better than the Saints, but you know how loud it's in New Orleans? You know, like that's a lot to ask them. I remember like Bo Nix last year, and it's like, oh, they're only playing in Seattle. Like that's hard to do. You know, like you can't communicate, you can't hear. They were having so many like delay of games. So I would personally, I don't know how you feel. I would rather personally give me the better defense I got to face, but I want to be home. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a great point. Kenny and I had that discussion. I thought New Orleans, but that's a great point, Kurt. The fact that he's home, they'll be quiet. They'll be able to make his calls, and hopefully, if they do something good, he'll have the fans behind him. I
Right.
mean, I think the fans at this point are so disgusted with the way the Giants have played. They're going to give this kid every opportunity to succeed. So even if he throws an interception, even if he misses a Malik Neighbors, and that's the other thing, you cannot have arguably the best receiver in the NFL getting 2 targets and getting 1 reception. That is absolutely unacceptable as a Giants fan. So yeah, I agree with you. Let him start at home, and hopefully it turns out to be at least a positive situation. All right, guys, that was it. That was my quick question today.
All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna skip over to superlatives. It's early in the season. I'm looking at the time. We're 47 minutes in, but I do have some games of the week, and then Paul with the Major League Baseball playoffs just around the corner and the season coming to an end. Paul had a good question, so I want to get to that to wrap up the show. So let's do the games of the week. I'll start with Kurt. We'll do Chiefs Ravens at Chiefs, Kurt.
This is tough because, like you said, Kansas, both teams have to win this game, right? But I just think it's a bad matchup for, again, I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan by any means, but I just think Kansas City is not a good run defense. And I think, again, if they stick to the plan, if Todd Monken sticks to the plan and runs the ball, I think Baltimore beats Kansas City.
I'm with you. He's got to stick to the run game. Henry's having fumbling issues. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
If he goes away from that, it's going to be a long day for the Ravens. I think the Ravens defense steps up in this game too. A lot of talk about them struggling. I think they get it done. Paul, I'm going to go down to you for the big NFC matchup. Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Both teams undefeated. Could be a preview of the NFC Championship. You got the Super Bowl champions and a sleeper team in the Bucs down in Tampa.
Yeah. Hey, a couple of years ago, Eagles went down there in the playoffs, and the Bucs rang their bell. They totally annihilated them. But all new season, and the Eagles are, good teams find ways to win and make their own breaks. And hey, as far as I'm concerned, the Eagles, unfortunately, are the best team, at least in the NFC, if not in football. And what they did with the last week against the Rams just proves how good they are. Bucs, hey, they're no slouches either. They could have folded up with that blocked kick by the Jets, and they wound up coming back and hanging the Jets a last-second loss. It's gonna be a pretty good heavyweight match. But I think the Eagles are going to wind up having too much firepower. Excuse me. Mike Evans is injured. I think he pulled a hamstring. Godwin is iffy. Excuse me. So I think the Eagles are going to go down there and beat Tampa Bay.
I like what you said, Paul. I do want to mention, I think this is the team that could beat the Eagles down in Florida. This could be the week. And keep an eye out, guys. Desmond Watson, practice squad. They may have the push stopper. But think about this. You got Desmond Watson, 460 pounds. Put Vita Vey right next to him. He's 100 pounds less. And we all know how big Vita Vey is. That's over 800 pounds in the middle there. Good luck trying to push that. If they do, hats off to the Eagles. But curious to see if that push gets a chance to get stopped this week with Desmond Watson. And Carson knows I've been high on Emeka Egbuka. Watch out for a big game from him and Bucky Irving as well. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to come down to the wire. But I'm with you. I think the Eagles squeak out a close one. Carson, I got one for you. Matthew Stafford back home after their disappointing, loss. They had the Eagles right where they wanted them, and they ended up blowing that one. And you mentioned Daniel Jones earlier. Give me your prediction on the Colts Rams. Rams, like I said, heading home, and what do we got here?
Yeah, going back to Daniel Jones, this is his biggest test that he's going to face this season so far. If he goes in, he gets this win. You could cement him as QB1 for the rest of the year. For the Colts, you have to worry about Anthony Richardson taking over his place again. But yeah, Rams, heartbreaking loss against the Eagles last week. But again, they're battling for their division. So I like the Rams a little bit more here. But, again, with the points, I wouldn't be opposed to taking the Colts plus 3.5 here as well. So big game in that division for the Rams in the NFC West. But I'm going to take the Colts with the points.
In Kurt's words, he made famous. If they stick to the plan and stick with the run game, Jonathan Taylor's your big gun on offense, not Daniel Jones. Make Daniel Jones make a couple plays in this game, you can pull off the road upset. If you stick to the plan and you don't throw Daniel Jones 40 times in this game, you win. But I think the Rams at home, coming off that tough loss, I think it's going to be too tough a place to play. The atmosphere is going to be tough at SoFi, and I think the Rams pull off a comeback victory and bounce back after that heartbreaking loss last week. Last one I had for myself, I'll do this one rapid fire. Seahawks versus Cardinals, two teams looking to stay on track with the 49ers, who keep getting injury after injury after injury. And Shanahan doing one of his best jobs over there ever, and he's got Robert Saleh as his defensive coordinator. But we're going to see who gets the win here. I think the Seahawks are on the right track here, and Sam Darnold doing what he needs to do, and Jackson Smith and Jigba is playing very well. So give me the Seahawks in a close one. Paul, you okay? You want me to take care of baseball, or you're okay?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Little carryover, but I'm fine.
You're fine. Yeah, Paul's coming over. You're coming over a little sickness, but he's doing good. So, all right. All right, back to you, Paul. We'll wrap it up with baseball. We got about 5 minutes left.
All right. I hate to bring it up, but misery loves company, Carson.
Yeah.
The Mets and the Tigers, both teams with historic collapses that might cause both of our teams, both of our organizations, missed opportunities, huge opportunities to have made the playoffs, when back in June and July and August, neither team probably would have thought there would be no way. But just to read the lowdown, the Mets, June 12th, they're the best record in baseball. Since that time, they've had the fourth worst. After last night's win, they're back in the last wild card position. But the Reds and the Diamondbacks have a one-game, a tie-breaking advantage over them. The Tigers, 15.5 game lead throughout the summer, even in the beginning of September. September 1st, they were up on the Guardians, 10.5 games. September 5th, they were up 11 games. Last night, Cleveland won against the Tigers, clinched a tiebreaker against the Tigers if they should end in a tie. First time the Guardians have been in first place since April 22nd. If the Tigers should wind up losing, it would be the biggest collapse. And I'm old, but I don't even remember the 1914 Boston Braves. That's how far back it went, where the Braves recovered from a 15 game deficit. So I'm going to ask you guys. I'll go to Kenny first. Which one is the bigger collapse, the Tigers or the Mets, Kenny?
You're going to laugh at me. You'd think the easy answer would be Tigers, but to me, it's the Mets. You got highest paid player in baseball, payroll up tops of baseball. Like you said, best record in June, and you collapse and maybe not even you're fighting for a wild card spot. At the end of the year, you got all these all-stars, Alonso, Lindor, Diaz closing games. And if you collapse, I'm sorry. To me, it's the Mets, even though the Tigers have, maybe the bigger amount of games that they collapse. To me, it's the Mets.
All right, fair enough. Kurt, what say you?
I'm going to answer it two different ways. I think it's more disappointing the Mets because the Mets are a better team than the Tigers, and the Mets had World Series aspirations. So it's more disappointing. But when you say worst collapse, I mean, that division was over. That division shouldn't have, that you should be resting your starters for now. So bigger collapse, the Tigers. More disappointing, the Mets, because I think, again, like Kenny said, they have a world championship roster.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with both of you guys. All right.
Paul, real quick, after Carson answers, he has to go because it's 8:30.
Okay.
So we'll get his closing thoughts into.
Okay,
he answers.
Carson, you're living it every day.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. The talk of the town has been, August, July, this team's rolling. This team is great. We haven't seen a team like this, since we made the World Series in 2012. This team could go all the way. And literally the last 4 weeks, it has just been an utter collapse failure from the ownership, AJ Hinch, Scott Harris. Any other player not named Tarek Skubal has just been a complete letdown. You talk about historic collapses. Like I said, if they were to blow this division, it would be the biggest divisional lead collapse in MLB history. And it's very ironic because last year the Tigers had a less than a 1% chance just to make the postseason. And now it's almost opposite inverse roles the following year where it should be a shoo-in for the Tigers. And there's a chance we might not even, we might not only blow the division, we might not even make the postseason. With the Guardians right now, we're currently losing right now to the Guardians, and we got the Red Sox in Fenway in a couple days. So, like you guys are saying, I think disappointing just because of payroll and the more talent with the New York Mets. But historically, failure collapse. It's got to be the Tigers. But yeah, great show as always, guys. I got to get going, but good luck to your guys' teams this weekend, and enjoy the rest of your night, everybody.
Thanks, Carson.
Carson, Clams and Claws
Sunday.
Saturday or
Yep.
Sunday? Sunday, Clams and Claws. Carson, we'll see you next week. Thanks
Sounds
for
good.
a
Thank
good
you,
show,
Carson.
guys, my friend.
See ya.
Yeah,
And Paul, we'll let you answer. and
Yeah,
then we'll
I
get
mean,
our closing
listen.
thoughts into wrap.
same old, same old. It's ironic that both the Mets and the Tigers almost had the same type of seasons from last year and this year, as he pointed out, where last year they came down at the finish. Same thing with the Mets, and here it is a year later. So it's just I sit here shaking my head almost every other night the way this team has played. And like you guys have said, with the payroll and the players and the all-stars, and there's just no excuse. And unfortunately, the Mets have had too long a history of blowing games in September and leads and stuff. So this is almost what have you done for me lately? Same old, same old. So I'm going to go with the Mets, unfortunately. So, all right, guys. Thank you.
Good question. Good question, Paul. Good question. Kurt, want to get our final thoughts in? I'm looking at the time.
Yeah,
We're right
final
on the
thoughts.
hour.
Again, listen. Again, rough weekend football wise. Auburn lost. Talk about a scam. Oklahoma, stealing a touchdown. The referees say it should never happen again. Thank you. Thanks for telling us it should never happen. But anyway, listen, Auburn had chances to win. Their quarterback didn't make plays, so put that on us. Back to the Broncos. Graham, listen, it's early. We're fine. I think we're the first team in the NFL, I think, to lose back-to-back games without not being down in the fourth quarter, back-to-back games, right? You lose at the gun both games. So listen, we're fine. I'll be fired up at 10 with Kenny, but listen, tighten it up. It's early. Again, the Colts aren't going to be in the Super Bowl. The Jaguars aren't going to be in the Super Bowl. The Cardinals aren't. That's not going to happen, right? I mean, the Giants, you guys are on 3. You guys can come right back. It's so early. These teams that you peak in September, they never make it later on. So, listen, must win Monday night. That's a must win. But get back on track. Listen, let's go. We'll be fine. Kenny.
Yeah, like you said, Paul, Kurt, 10 o'clock, you'll be fine. There's only one team in this NFL, in my opinion, that can just sit back and enjoy the season. And that's the Buffalo Bills, because look at the teams in their division. Other than that, anybody's got a chance, even these 0-3 teams. As sad as it is, the Giants even have a chance. Yeah, I even said that. Maybe Jackson Dart is the next coming of Peyton Manning. Who knows? Maybe he's the next Josh Rosen. We'll see. Like Kurt said, we're getting him in. I wanted it against the Chargers. I don't, I never disagree with Carson, but he said the Saints, I don't want to play him against the Saints his first game. Why baby him? Play him against a good team at home, like Kurt said. Atmosphere is going to be good. Let's see what he can do under pressure, and let's go moving forward. The future may be bright for the Giants. See you all at 10 o'clock. Great show tonight, guys. We'll see everybody at 10
Paul
o'clock.
Rosen, final thoughts tonight.
Thanks, Kurt. Great show, guys. Always a pleasure. Great show. Thank you, Graham. Always a pleasure. Everybody tuning in. You guys make us. I'm not going to be here next week. My family's going on a cruise starting Saturday, so I'm going to try and see some of that game on Sunday if I can. But certainly, I'll look forward to hearing from you guys and see what's happening next week. So, thanks again, everyone.
By real quick, Kenny, 30 seconds. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. Kenny, you're a Maryland guy now, but Paul in Jersey, I can never do it because I'm not a boat guy. But did you see that they offer in Jersey? It's $65 and they call it an NFL cruise. And on Sundays, for $65, you go out, go on this they take you on like this boat. They have all the games on, you drink and food. So it is I just couldn't do it. I mean, I would be sick instantly, but how cool is that for $65?
That is. Where does that leave? Where does that leave from?
I'm not sure. I saw it a couple times. It's
I'll look it
$65,
up.
but they call it like the NFL Sunday cruise. And like you go out, and I guess you go out at like 12 and you come back like after the 4 o'clock games.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's worth it.
That'd be fun.
I don't know if
That'd
the
be
65 is included with the food and drinks, but
Right.
just the fact that, but they said you have all the games on. It's like basically a sports bar on a boat.
Yeah.
So
That'd be
Wow.
fun.
I got to
That'd be
get
fun.
info for that.
All right, thanks for sharing that. Let's we'll get the name out next week for everybody if anybody's interested. Maybe a future
really.
boat party.
Not for me.
With not Kurt Valenti.
And thank you, Graham, for everything backstage tonight.
Graham, thank you as always. Appreciate you, and